We had Justin Fields trade over the weekend. This is just weird.
Anticlimactic at best.
He has been dealt to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where Russell Wilson obviously is, and they give up a conditional 6th-round pick in order to get him. It can work up to a 4th-round pick if Fields plays in 51% of the Steelers' snaps.
How much do you want to bet he doesn't?
I don't know if I want to take that bet because it's Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing that gets me out of it. The Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Justin Fields when you have what we know is one of the most sensitive starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like Russ is, and I appreciate what he said on social media. I like the fact that, Mike Tomlin called him the night before they were going to pull the trigger on the trade, and he said, hey, man, you're going to start, but we're bringing Justin in to compete. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's go, compete.
Mm-hmm.
This has not got to sit well with Russell Wilson, and their quarterback room was a disaster last year with Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph,
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Trubisky, and now you add this to it where Russell Wilson's going to be looking over his shoulder. I just don't think, in Arthur Smith's offense, no less.
Yeah, no, I liken this to the Pittsburgh Steelers collecting the Infinity Stones, but after they were used and snapped.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I saw a thing out there that the Steelers now have the market cornered on quarterbacks that over the last 2 years are the only ones to both combine for 100+ sacks and interceptions over the last 2 years. Both of them have. They're the only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL.
And for different reasons, too.
Yeah, but you look at this and you go, and I've seen some people say that, well, this is smart, low risk, high reward management by the Steelers, and I go,
I mean, that is true.
or it's incredibly cheap, low reward, low turn. Just because something has high reward, number one, how high is the reward on Russell Wilson? It's not that high. It's not.
Not anymore. Well,
No.
it is. It's exactly what Pittsburgh wants to do, which is, and this is the gripe with the Steelers fan base, and I get it from them. They're not competing to win Super Bowls. They're competing to not have a losing record,
Yes.
and they're stuck in this kind of football purgatory. That they're the Blazers. They're doing exactly what the Blazers did under Neil Olshey.
Yes.
Which is
Protect your job.
we are good enough to win and to make it to the playoffs, to have a winning record, to be in that conversation in the mix at the end of the
In the
year.
playoffs every year.
But we do not have the quarterback to push us over the edge. And like for the Blazers, it was we do not have a second star to pair with Dame.
And we refuse to do anything that would require us to change what we are or how we do it. And again, you can be defensive minded. You can zig when everybody else zags, but you've got to get something on that side of the ball.
Well, and they do with George Pickens, but then they trade Deontay Johnson. Like you're going, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Well, he might get paid. So.
Chicago's value or the Steelers' value on their quarterback position. It just does not make sense because the last guy that they drafted really high at quarterback was pretty damn good in Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they've just kind of been stuck in the middle of the draft, and that's all you're going to do is you're going to be okay. What they're doing right now, bringing Russell Wilson in is the Blazers bringing Carmelo Anthony in.
Yep.
A guy who
that's actually a really apt comparison.
Past his prime, has rubbed his teammates the wrong way, has always had that ability. Everybody's like, God, he's so good. Well, it's not that anymore.
No.
And you're
but he also has the team over the barrel because they need him.
And then going and getting Justin Fields is drafting Zach Collins and saying we got a project stretch 4.
Who's
where all the tools are there. It can work. Hell, you could go Myers Leonard.
No. Let's go Zach Collins because he was some combination of Kevin McHale, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Rasheed Wallace. Not my words, Neil Olshey's. He said that about Zach Collins.
Or it is Al-Farouq Aminu, where we're projecting to 53 wins.
53 wins, him at the 4.
At the 4.
Yeah.
It's like, if we play him out of position, it's going to be really good. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing, and that to me is, if I am a Steelers fan, we've been through it. Everybody here in Portland's been through exactly what you're going through, and that is very frustrating, especially when you have a coach who's a really good coach, too. And people are going to blame Mike Tomlin, just like people blame Terry Stotts, and then those same people are like, well, the new guy's a bum, too. Because it's a franchise that is very stable and has a winning tradition and winning history. But they're not going to be competing for Super Bowls.
And I've seen a bunch of Steelers fans like, oh, man, Omar's nailing it. He's crushing the offseason. I'm just like, huh?
Well, defensively, I'll give them like double gold stars.
But I mean, it's like offensively, you have no money committed. You have no certainty at quarterback. You don't.
Their offensive, here's where my issue is that they're still trying to figure out and retool that offensive line. And last year they went out and they got Isaac Seumalo from Philadelphia, brought him over, and he's going to be steady Eddie. He's going to be very productive. But in order for either one of these quarterbacks to pop and to truly be good, for Russell Wilson, be serviceable again, and for Justin Fields, if he is going to win at quarterback, and you and I differ on this, I do believe Justin Fields, in the right situation, in the right circumstances, can be a good quarterback.
Yeah, I can't get there.
But this is not that situation.
Like this ain't it, Bob.
Pittsburgh is sitting there, and you're like, no. I don't offensively, I don't get it. Defensively, I truly understand their offseason, and they still got, they got Najee, they've got Pickens, they've got Freiermuth. They've got enough, but the trade of Deontay Johnson, head scratcher to me. This move to trade for Justin Fields is a head scratcher to me from the aspect of, all right, you're bringing this guy in to be your backup quarterback, and really it's only for a 1-year rental. Right? You gave very little to get him, and I understand that. But for Chicago, you're going, what are you thinking? And they're trying to frame this as we tried to get Justin where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, more power to you. Why would Justin Fields want to go to Pittsburgh, though?
To back up Russell Wilson and play with a team that, again, does not have weapons.
Yeah.
On the flip side, the Chicago Bears, They clear the room, and they're very clearly going after Caleb Williams now. And I saw something flash up that Caleb Williams, if drafted by the Bears with the addition of Keenan Allen, will be the first top 5 quarterback ever to come into a team with 2,000-yard receivers in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Interesting, huh?
Best receivers that they've ever had in Steelers or Bears history.
Right?
No, it is.
It
truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had Brandon Marshall, who wasn't as productive in Chicago. No. Tom Waddle? I mean, it's tough sledding, dude.
An organization that has been so bereft of talent at quarterback and wide receivers going, we're not doing that again. Meanwhile, the Steelers are like, run it back for the 18th straight time.
Yeah. The Bears are doing a good job of clearing the deck and positioning themselves to win. And that's what sucks for me, for put Justin Fields and what he does in the future aside. What they did to him for the past 2 seasons, it's criminal. They surrounded him with
nothing,
no talent.
You're not going to get me to disagree with that.
The DJ Moore trade last year was let's see what he can do with a wide receiver as he's running for his life. And people are criticizing what they were kept leaking is Justin Fields can't get off his first read quick enough. Yeah, because by the time he gets to read number 2, somebody is hitting him.
Dead.
It's like,
Cole Kmet's like, what about me?
What are we doing here? But the Bears have done a really good job this offseason. I'm actually excited for the future, and I think Caleb Williams should be excited about what they're doing, putting around him. Now you just need to hope that Shane Waldron isn't the joke that Jackson Smith and Jigba thought he was a Super Bowl media row.
Strong chance?
All right, Steelers right now, where are they in the AFC North? After all of these moves that they've made this offseason, where are they in the AFC North?
Ravens are still better. Browns are still better.
Bengals are getting Joe Burrow back.
Yeah, they're going to get... Again, it's the best division in football. I don't really think that's up for debate. I still feel like they're last.
Still fourth.
Which,
You're still
if
fourth.
you're finishing fourth in your division, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But they're going to be 500. Like they'll finish like probably fourth in the AFC North, but they will,
and they'll be 9-8.
And that's
Tomlin's winning
where
record will continue to push on again.
And that's where you want to expect more. You want to expect more if you are a fan of either of those teams.